There are a lot of Pokemon banned in competitive singles, but what if they were allowed again? Now, I'm not talking about clearly overpowered Pokemon like Chiampao, Chi-Yu, or Fluttermane, but what about Pokemon that people have always questioned being banned, like Lugia, or Archaludon, who was only good on one style of play, being Rain? I wanted to find out the answer to just how good these Pokemon would be in a competitive setting, so I decided to join my friend Lax's tournament, which allows you to use 2 unbanned Pokemon from a list on a standard team and then play best of 3s to make it all the way to the finals. And these are those games. Let's see if you agree if these Pokemon should be unbanned or not. Alright gang, we're here. First round. Let's get right into it. I'm on the left side, Megas to High Ladder Alt, plus the football avatar for Max Aura. You can see my team is very cheap. Aurora Veil Action, Baxcalibur, Regieleki, because I just love Regieleki. We all know that that's a true agency Pokemon, and it's just so forgotten. Don't even see bro in Ubers or anything like that, so I knew I had to bring that. Bax is Bax. Bax was one of the most terrorizing Pokemon back in the day. That 2023 OU meta Baxcalibur was a menace with that Slowking Chili Reception, and I was like, no, we're not running no Slowking. We got Ninetales here to Aurora Veil. My opponent is my boy foolycl. Big shoutouts to him. He also uploads very high level competitive OU content. Please do go check him out. He's a great guy. He makes great videos. His link will be in the description. He is running a grassy terrain team. He's also running Baxcalibur and Ursaluna Blood Moon, which I did not even consider, honestly. Like, Blood Moon is really cheap. I got blown away by a Blood Moon back in the day in tournament when it was legal for those few weeks. I remember how annoying this Pokemon was. But when this game started, I was like, oh my god. I wasn't even checking for Blood Moon when I made my team. So, yes, I actually did make my own teams for this too. Usually I would just tell CTC, yo, give me a team, but I wasn't going to go harass CTC and be like, hey, make me a team, but also 2 Pokemon are unbanned, so you got to intertwine it. I was like, whatever, I'm going to just make my own team like everybody else. We're just going to have a chill time. So I put together this cheap Veil. Regieleki is on here for Rapid Spin because I have 3 Pokemon weak to Stealth Rock, and then also because I was like, you know what, Specs Regieleki, I see the vision. I had visions of myself Terra icing and killing every Pokemon. Now, foolycl has a pretty strong standard team, except for the Braviary H, which I have no idea why he decided to run this Pokemon, but you know what? He's pretty tough for that. Like, you know, when I saw the team, I was like, dang, he got some threats. And then I was like, wait a minute, I know that's not who I thought it was. Is that Gliscor? No, that's it's Braviary H, but yeah, I have a pretty standard Veil. I have a max speed, max special attack Manaphy. Manaphy is not something we really see in OU to begin with, but I was like, dude, I think Manaphy is pretty underrated on Veil. I also knew that looking at the unbanned list, we probably will see Baxcalibur used a decent amount, seeing as that was one of the most annoying Pokemon back in the meta. Some other guys that were unbanned was what? Gouging Fire, Roaring Moon. So I'm Tail Growth 3 attack with Terra Fairy, Alluring Voice. I figured that would be a pretty good check to all the dragon stuff, and I was pretty confident that Manaphy wouldn't be bad, even though we don't see it too much. My Gliscor is Double Dance under Veil. I haven't actually used this set, Agility Swords Dance, but I've seen it win many, many games when paired with Ninetales Alola for the Veil. So I figured, you know what, this will probably put in some work for me. My Baxcalibur is Swords Dance, Terra Ground, Scale Shot, Icicle Spear. This is the set that everyone was like, oh my god, this is so broken, back when Bax got banned immediately, but I never even got a chance to really try it out. C-Titan is on my team because I was inspired by the video I did with Lax in 3D, and I actually was like, dude, C-Titan's actually good, and I wanted another ice type. Also, this was an intelligent pick. I picked C-Titan because in the Hail, with its amazing HP, it can check Baxcalibur. It can definitely check Baxcalibur and take some of those physical hits. So I was like, C-Titan is going to be my Bax check, and he brought it back. So I was like, I'm cooking. Regieleki is for Rapid Spin, and I just wanted a hard hitter. If I'm having a bunch of setup spam Pokemon, I need something that can hit hard. Otherwise, I'm going to get swept by the first bulky Pokemon that comes out and sets up. And then Gliscor, like I said in the back, is just some setup cheese. Also the ground resist of the team. So that's it. I didn't put too much thought into it. I mean, it's Veil, right? Like, you just kind of set up your Veil and you kind of go for it. But yeah, looking at it, that was what I was thinking. Let's get right into it. So he leads off with Rillaboom as I lead off with Manaphy, so he gets me there. I figured because I have Ninetales in the lead slot, and obviously it's a Veil team, that he might want to lead off with either Golden Go or Cinderace, just so he can take advantage of Ninetales' lead. But he makes a great play, leads off with Rillaboom instead, knowing that I'm not going to want to lead badly into either Cinderace or Gold. So that was a great play by him. I have to get out of here immediately because otherwise my Manaphy is going to get completely fried. I go into Ninetales here because I wanted to scout out whether he was Choice Banded or whatever. It could be Assault Vest, whatever the case might be. He just goes for a U-turn there, which is honestly pretty good for me. I was worried that he would go for a Grass move, and I really don't have a good switch into that. Either way, he's going to get his initiative here, but I don't really lose too much from this. Golden Go comes in and gets a Grassy Seed activated, and this is where I was like, oh my god, this might actually just sweep me. Grassy terrain means my Earthquake from Bax and Gliscor is going to bounce off. And then my counter is what? Regieleki or Manaphy getting... even if Manaphy tail glows, Golden Go's not going to die in one hit. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, yo, I might be cooked. I switch out immediately into my Regieleki because I know he's going to click Nasty Plot most likely because Aurora Veil is just too free. And you don't... I mean, he could make it rain into Aurora Veil and kill my Ninetales, but then the next guy would come in and just set up. So I know in his position, he's more than likely just going to click Nasty Plot so he can, 1, stall out an extra turn, and 2, be strong enough to, you know, kill whoever is in front and neutralize the Aurora Veil defense boost if I were to go for that. So, Nasty Plot comes out as expected. I went into Regieleki because I just needed to get the strongest hit off on this possible. All of my other Pokemon, the attack is going to bounce off. My literally strongest attack to hit this thing, besides Regieleki, is a max special attack Manaphy Scald, which will probably do like 35%, if that. So I was pretty certain. I was like, okay, I will actually get swept by this immediately if I don't go into Regieleki. Fortunately for me, my Regieleki is not boots or anything fake like that. It is just specs, and I'm going to be able to do a shit ton of damage. He told me he did have a good amount of Spadef, because I was also kind of surprised by it doing 63. Like, I know gold is bulky, but this is specs and transistor. That's like having 2 specs on. So I was like, dude, what? Why did they only do 63? Either way, though, we are able to limit the gold here, and he actually doesn't kill me with Make It Rain either because he has 0 special attack. That completely threw me by surprise. I had no idea that Regieleki's defenses were like that. I gotta put some respect on his name. But yeah, Regieleki lives. Here, I know the Ursaluna could come in, but I really cannot risk it. If I am to do some try-hard shit like double on the Ursaluna and he clicks Recover or something like that, I'll literally lose right there. So I just decided to click T-Bow. I didn't really, you know, want to risk it too much. Now, this turn is a little bit of a risky turn, but I know that he's unlikely to click Calm Mind here, because if I do possibly go into Ninetales expecting him to Calm Mind and click Encore, he's not going to want to lose his momentum or positioning or any of that. So I click T-Bow here expecting him just to go for a solid attack, as he does go for Hyper Voice, trying to get the most possible damage if I go to Ninetales, Gliscor, or anything like that. Like, I just knew this was, him Calm Minding there isn't, like, it wasn't going to pass through his brain. He was more likely to just go for the attack. If he did Calm Mind there, though, it could have been shiced. Either way, him clicking Hyper Voice tells me that he might not even be Calm Mind, because Calm Mind would run Blood Moon, Earth Power, Vacuum Wave. Hyper Voice could be 4 attack. So I wasn't completely sure what it was yet, but the fact that he went for Hyper Voice made me think in the back of my head, okay, there's potential that this is just a 4 attack Ursa more so than Calm Mind. So I bring back in my Ninetales. I have that free turn. We're going to go for Aurora Veil, as he does go for the Blood Moon. It does 45, which is still so much. Ursa is so strong. I switch out here into my Gliscor as he goes for Hyper Voice. I get crit, but honestly, bro, I don't think this mattered that much. Because, like, okay, so let's say he didn't crit me. It probably would have done, like, what, like 20 some. I have a shit ton of Spadef, so it probably would have done like 30, 25, something like that. I would have lived the Blood Moon too, but I mean, like, it definitely did matter, but I think Ursa might have just like been down to like 20-30%, and I still would have lost to my Gliscor 1v1. So I wasn't that tilted by the crit. I was just like, okay, whatever, like, it happens. This is still the biggest threat against me, especially because he has this lefties and this grassy. Actually, now that I see lefties, maybe he was Calm Mind. Honestly, I don't know. Either way, it's C-Titan time. I click Belly Drum. I know he's going to stay in, but because of C-Titan's massive HP stat, we're going to be able to take the Blood Moon regardless. Good thing he wasn't Silk Scarf or anything like that. Otherwise, that would have done way too much. But yeah, C-Titan's able to live that. He brings in Braviary here. The featured Mon gets blown away. Minus 100%. Big shouts to Braviary, man. He did a lot. Now here, I decided to go for the Terra Water and go for Liquidation, because I looked at the rest of my team and I was like, I don't think there's any superior Terra. My Manaphy is Terra Fairy, but I don't need Terra Fairy to win this game. Because, I mean, I already beat, like, every Pokemon except for Rillaboom, and Rillaboom I'm going to be able to handle with my backs, hopefully. So I figured I would just kill the Cinderace. Otherwise, the Cinderace is going to check the rest of my Pokemon, and it could potentially court change my Aurora Veil if I ever do get it back up. So I decided, fuck it, let's just pop the Terra, and let's just get our kill. He does go for Pyro Ball versus Whisper U-turn, which I agree with. I mean, he should just have Pyro Ball, but yeah. So, knocks me out there. I mean, I knock him out there. He brings in Rillaboom. Now, this is actually a speed tie because I'm Jolly, and he's Adamant. So, Adamant Rillaboom hits 269 speed. Jolly C-Titan hits 269 speed. So, it's a speed tie. I actually do win the speed test. That's a little lucky for me. I mean, 50-50, right? So, I can't say it's, like, super lucky, but it's definitely fortunate because I popped Terra, remember? So, I did need to get that speed tie. I Ice Shard here on the backs. I do a lot of damage as he goes for the Scale Shot, and he gets the kill off on me. He's obviously loaded dice because he's Scale Shot, and he knocks me out from that range. I bring in my Ninetales here. If this isn't Iron Head, I know I'm going to wall the back Excalibur and be able to get this Aurora Veil off. He reveals high horsepower, which makes sense because he does have Rilla Grassy, so he doesn't want Earthquake to be nerfed by that. Goes for another one. 20%. I knock him out with Moonblast. This Ninetales is fire, bro. It's max special attack, max speed. I don't believe in max HP Ninetales anymore, and you'll see in a future battle that I show in this why max special attack Ninetales is the GOAT, but I'm just alluding to that for now. Alright, I kill him with Moonblast. He's going to bring in Golden Go here. I switch out immediately because I know Recover's coming, so I go into Manaphy and I click Tail Glow. Now I'm looking good to win. I mean, Rilla's dead, Bax is dead, this Tail Glow's going up. I have the screen up as well. The gold is Nasty Plot, Make It Rain, Recover, T-Wave, which is a crazy set. T-Wave, no Hex is nonsense. I really didn't expect it to be T-Wave because, like, what is T-Wave Make It Rain solo? How can Make It Rain be your only coverage, right? I was so shocked, but he continues to click Recover, trying to stall out the Aurora Veil, which is definitely the correct play. I just keep clicking Scald. Unfortunately for me, I don't get parried at all. The rolls are pretty weird. 76, 67. It's I literally got min and then max, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, my Manaphy's pretty lucky there. I get parried literally 0 times and I knock him out, and that's awesome for me. And then, yeah, he goes into his Ursaluna. He Terra Fairies because that's the only way he's going to live. I'm max speed timid, so I'm faster than this. He goes for Blood Moon. It does a shit ton of damage. Again, this is lefties. This isn't even like Silk Scarf or anything. But yeah, my Manaphy breaks out. I don't even know how many turns in a row that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 turns straight, no Paris. So that's definitely pretty fortunate for me. I will say, though, that even if I did get full parried, what's it called? I think my Bax would have won. Actually, maybe I lost because... Maybe I would have lost, because he would have turned Fairy, and he probably would have been able to live Icicle Spirit into Blizzard. I don't know if he had Vacuum Wave or not. I am max special attack Blizzard, so it probably does hit pretty hard, but I'm not totally certain whether I would have been able to pull it out unless I didn't get full parrot. So I would wager that I got a little bit more fortunate this battle for sure. I got the 50-50 speed tie with Sea Titan, as that and Rillaboom do speed tie, so all things considered, pretty happy to get away with that one. So that was the first game in the first round best of 3. Let's get on to game number 2. Okay. Oops. Okay. So game 2, he's rocking a Rain team. Strong. He got the Regieleki back in here probably with Thunder. Arch Aladon. I miss you so much, Arch. It was such a beautiful Pokemon back in the day. He got but he got Stamina Arch Aladon, a little Electro Shot Cheese. Raging Bolt, another menace on Rain with the ability to use Weather Ball, you know, and Thunder. Overquill, which I've had a lot of fun using in OU many times, has decided to make its debut on this team as well, so he's got some cool stuff. And then Ogre in the Rain is always a threat. I literally am bringing a team that's more than a year old that CTC made randomly. You can tell from the structure that this is literally an old, like, 2024 OU team. Gouging Fire and Roaring Moon. I was thinking, how do I want to use Gouge? And then I was like, dude, I'm just going to use this old team. Because I used to win with this team a lot back in the day. I mean, look how cheap it is, man. King Gambit, Roaring Moon, Gouge, Iron Moth. I was like, this should be fine. So I run into Rain. I wasn't too, like, upset or whatever at the matchup. I thought it was fine for the most part. I knew that there was going to be some threats. Like, I don't have really sturdy water resists. Roaring Moon's Fizz Def is garbage, so I know that Ivy Cudgel's going to blow that up. I also know Primarina's not no counter to Ogre Pawn either, so that's not really a water resist. But I just have to have some good positioning. I didn't think Gouging Fire would be that useful because I'm a bulkier DD set, so even if I get +2, I'm going to be still slower than Overquill if he's Jolly. And it's just like, it's not going to be able to tank the hits the way I need it to. So, especially versus a Rain team, I wasn't counting on Gouging Fire to do that much. Roaring Moon, though, I knew was going to go crazy because I have Knockoff and EQ, and I'm sub DD, which I made some counter team set for fun. So, Pelipper leads off as I lead off with Landers T. I'm definitely the lead woke these last 2 games. I expected... what did I even expect leading off with this? Why did I lead this? Because I think, I don't know. I think I just wanted to force something turn 1. Either way, I click U-turn immediately as he switches out into Ogre Pawn. I don't know why he switched immediately into Ogre Pawn. If he doesn't have U-turn, it makes sense. Or he was like super scared of like Stone Edge being clicked or something. I don't know. He probably should just U-turned though, because I get a free U-turn off, and that's like ridiculous momentum for me to get off the bat. I bring in King Gambit here because I actually have nobody I want to go into. If I go Iron Moth, then I pop my booster immediately, which I don't want to do because I might need that for later. If I go into Roaring Moon, similarly, I'd use my booster immediately, but honestly, it might not have even have been that bad of a play. I go into King Gambit here because I want to start chipping everything I can. Archaladon comes in as Katao does 30 flat, which is like, bro, I know I have no dead Pokemon to boost up my Supreme Overlord, but 30? This is a strong Pokemon, G. I'm max speed on this, so I go for low kick here because I know for a fact he will never click body press into Landorus T. There is a chance he clicks Electro Shot and it does 70% to my Gambit, but I'm already now thinking, okay, if I can chip this Arch enough, then I can win with my Roaring Moon. That's what I'm playing for. This Arch is a big threat. I need to start chipping it down. I know body press is not being clicked here. Clicking body press into Landorus T would be all momentum out the window. So he actually ends up going for Flash Cannon, which I definitely did not expect. I expected Electro Shot or Draco or something like that. Just, I mean, I know he predicted the Landorus, but even if he did Electro Shot into Landorus, I think it would have been totally fine for him, because the next turn he would have been able to kill me with Draco because he still gets the +1. The fact that Flash Cannon did 21 means Electro Shot definitely did 70 as well, if we just do simple math. But here I decide, okay, now it's definitely time to switch. King Gambit is, you know, diminishing returns. Now this is +2 defense, and he's more than likely going to click Electro Shot or Body Press here, and I know that for a fact because I've conditioned it with the last turn. So this whole series of plays works out really, really well for me, and I somehow counter Arch Aladon with King Gambit because I'm the GOAT. So Ogerpon comes in here as I go for a greedy Rocks. He makes a good play here going into Ogre, knowing that I'm not going to U-turn on Arch. I'm either going to click EQ, Earth Power, Stealth Rock, something like that, and I do just do that. Good play on his part for sure, because he had to get something back after Ogerpon took that U-turn and Arch Aladon took all that damage. This is like the greatest lead possible for me to have in the last 5 turns. Here, I actually thought for like 60 seconds of what I want to do. I'm like, who do I want to go into? I cannot sack Landorus T because he has 2 electric types. If I sack Landorus T, I'm going to get 6-0'd by the move Thunder from Regieleki. So I decide Gouge is the most expendable. Like I told you guys, I'm a bulkier set. I don't have max speed anyways. I still take that Ivy Cudgel pretty nicely, but that guy's out of the way here. I also didn't want to sack Primarina because I thought maybe Terra AV Prim could end up being a backup check to one of the electric types if I do need that. But yeah, I just decided I didn't need Gouge at that point. Flare Blitz EQ is good coverage, but I mean, I'm going to get checked by Pelipper anyways. Here I click sub, expecting him to sack Arch on the switch, but he actually makes a good play here and just stays in. I mean, he has play rough, so from his perspective, it's like, oh, I mean, I have the tools, and if I were to go for something greedy like to Dragon Dance, then he would be able to knock me out right there. I would never Dragon Dance in front of Ogerpon, that's for damn sure, because even Ivy Cudgel is going to do like fucking 75%. I bet it really does that type of damage. Like Roaring Moon's Fizz Def is not good. But yeah, he goes for sub there. Here I just go for a knockoff and take him out. All good, it's fine. He does stay in, so at the end of the day, it's not it wasn't really that big of a deal for me. I'm still able to kill the Ogerpon, so I was happy. Pelipper comes in here. Pretty sure I just stay into knock again. And yeah, I didn't go for Dragon Dance because I'm slower than Overquill. And if I DD, and he's obviously going to click U-turn, so I figured I'd rather just knock it off and try and kill the Pelipper next time with Stealth Rock. And I do put it in range of Rock, so that, you know, that was a good trade for me, honestly. Quill comes in. I really don't know what to do here. When I remember when I was playing, I was like, dude, I mean, he's probably going to Gunk Shot, but I don't really want to pivot around. So I just stay in and die to Gunk Shot, but maybe I should have pivoted around. I mean, I thought at that point, because I lost my booster, that like I didn't really need it, but you'll see why. It was good to keep. I mean, I had Earthquake, and his whole team's weak to Earthquake. Also, the electric resist, that point matters. I bring in Landorus T here, because I'm like, okay, he's probably Jolly Life for it. I probably live this. And I go for what? Earth Power? Yeah, I do just go for Earth Power, because I was like, dude, if he goes for like Terra Water or something like that, I'd rather just, you know, stay in an Earth Power. I don't want to U-turn on some random shit. Regieleki comes in here and is on a balloon, which is funny, which gives him the most confirmed of rapid spins, which is also pretty annoying for me because it's like, oh, of course, now Pelipper is able to come back in at a later time. Where did I click U-turn? Probably. Yep. U-turn out, do 42%. Probably bring in King Gambit. Yep. And what did I click? Sucker? Overquill comes in here. Oh, I go back into Landorus. Okay. I went back into Landorus because if he does decide to go for the tryhard electric play, he's just going to hit himself into Landorus and I'm going to get those rocks up. So I was like, this is fine. And if he does want to switch into Overquill, I was thinking that with Intimidate, I'm going to be able to kill it. But I did take extra damage from that Rapid Spin, 10%. And so that should have let me know that I'm not living Liquidation even if I do make him -1. I mean, Overquill's pretty strong, man. I don't think I had any chance in the world. I probably died to this at 78 too, I'm not going to lie. Because my Landorus is fast, it's just max HP, but I get packed up there by Liquidation. So Overquill now has 2 kills. This guy's going stupid. I go into King Gambit here as he liquidates, and it does 31, which is still a shit ton of damage. As I go for the SD, and then I click Sucker, or do I click Katao? I just Katao, yeah, because I mean, I live the next hit anyways, and it's already going to come down to a Thunderclap game, so I was like, fuck it, let's just go for it. Bolt comes in here as I click SD, expecting the Thunderclap. To be honest, he lives Sucker at 100%, so he could have maybe attacked me, but I don't know, I just clicked SD regardless, because Overquill is the threat here. Overquill beats me from this position. So I was like, let me just SD and get all these turns right. So I start forcing the famous 50-50 Sucker Punch War. He keeps thunderclapping. I SD again, and then I believe he Dragon Pulses here. Yes, he does Dragon Pulse here and call me out as I SD again. And then he Dragon Pulses again, and so he really cooked me there. I think I realized later on that his set is most likely Thunderclap, Dragon Pulse, Weather Ball, Thunder. So I think he legitimately picked his best move. Because if you think about it, Pulse doesn't kill me, Thunder can miss, Weather Ball doesn't kill me. So it was kind of it was like a multi-layered mind game to a degree. Like I was thinking, oh, I just have to SD and outplay all these things, but he didn't even have a consistent attack to kill me. His best move was either Thunderclap to KO me at that range, Thunder which can miss, but nah, he definitely called me out good. He hit Dragon Pulse twice, I got cooked. I was like, damn. Especially after the first Dragon Pulse, I was like, all right, I definitely get another SD for free here, because he feels like he won that turn, so obviously he's gonna then click Thunderclap thinking that I'm scared, but nah, he called me out good on that. He smoked my shit. I go into Primarina here. Now I'm basically forced to theyre, I think. Yeah, so I theyre Steel, I knock him out with Moonblast, but I think that's that because Overquill's going to come in. I have exhausted theyre. Liquidation still does way too much damage to me, and I'm able to knock him out with Moonblast. In comes Raging Bolt, but Bolt is going to knock me out with the Weather Ball, I believe. Yeah. I actually don't know what his last move was, bro, because if he had Thunder, he would have gone for it. So I actually have no idea what his set might have been. Thunderclap, D-Pulse, Weather Ball. But either way, I bring in my Iron Moth here. I am Speed Booster. I go for the Sludge Wave. I don't even have Dazzling Gleam. I do only 43, and I get O-Code by Weather Ball. So props to him. He played this game really well. I would say that I played this really poorly after the first 5 turns, given the advantage that I had pulled. Because look at this. I got the U-turn off, right? Immediately you get half off on Ogre is amazing, especially for an offense team that's this weak to Ogre. I then brought in Gambit. I got good chip on Arch. Here I got the turn right, knowing he's not going to body press, so I kept Arch really, really low, seeing as it's now at, what, 24%. So by this turn 4, like, it was very in my favor. The Arch is completely gone, did no damage. This is at half. So I would say that I definitely had a really, really strong opening, and then I sort of just... Like this whole sequence too, like the sub killing this, like there was definitely a better way to go about this. Like the way that this game should have gone after the first 5 turns is I set up a DD with Roaring Moon and won. I for sure misplayed this mid game. And he definitely made all the correct plays too at the end. Like his Overquill went crazy. He outplayed me with the Bolt. This was a shice game. I remember because I was like, after the first 5 turns, I was like, oh, I have this locked down. Like especially once the Archaludon didn't kill my King Gambit, I was very sure that I had it locked down. But nah, he kept his composure, and I definitely messed up a little bit because, like I said, Roaring Moon for sure should have won this. But no, he kept it together really well. Caught me with those sucker punches, but I had to lock in, man. Now it's 1-1, and he just kind of shysted me, bro. He just beat me in the sucker punch war in front of everybody, bro. That's what I'm known for, bro. So I was like, no, bro, no, not like this. Game 3. Ta-da! Ursaluna X2. You know the boss had to come out. So after game 1, I realized how big of a threat Ursaluna is. I made this team in like 5 minutes. Right before our game 3. I actually only made 2 teams to begin with, not because I thought I was gonna 2-0, but because I was lazy. I was like, dude, I don't like building teams. But I made this team in a few minutes, just some very simple Volt turny stuff. You know, when I put my mind to it, I'll be cooking up some hits. Like, so we got Scarfy Namorous here, Choice Band Scizor, which you're gonna find out in the battle is fucking Swarm ability and not Technician, because I forgot to make it Technician because I made this team in literally minutes. Like, bro, I'm fucking stupid. Choice Banded Palafin because we love Palafin out here. Silk Scarf Ursaluna. I didn't want to waste time with Calm Mind. I just wanted to go for Silk Scarf Blood Moons, Silk Scarf Hyper Voice, and then Earth Power Vacuum Wave. Assault Vest Terra Grass Slowking. I decided to pick this because if he decides to bring Ursaluna, I can Terra Grass with AV and just OHKO it. And then it's also just a good check to like Regieleki and just, you know, it's AV Slowking. It doesn't need much of an explanation. I'm in Great Tusk as my Stealth Rocker. That's you know, that's a classic. I just needed a physical defense Pokemon, so I needed to take Gambit on and stuff like that. His team is very strong. Dragonite offense, Ursaluna thrown on there, Regieleki for the Rapid Spin. Let's get right into it. He leads off with Darkrai. I expected him to lead off with either Darkrai or Prim. I'm pretty certain. So I let off with Sizz. I go right for the U-turn. I know he's going to burn me, but I don't care that much. I still am able to get a shit ton of damage. I really didn't care that much about the burn. I got that. Honestly, the U-turn did way less than I thought. Darkrai's pretty bulky. But yeah, the burn didn't matter much to me. If anything, all this did was put him into range of like all my attacks. So I was cool with it. Because in my mind, I was like, great, now this dies to Sludge Bomb. I'm chilling. I mean, Scizor is a big threat to his team, but I wasn't that, like, I wasn't that torn over that. All right, Palafin comes in. Primarina comes in. Obviously, I hard switch out here because I'm not trying to take a Wisp or Jet Punch into Primarina. All that's bullshit. So I hard switch into my Enamorus instead. But here I got to switch out because Primarina is going to take nothing from my attack, and it's going to blow me up with Surf or Moonblast. So I go into my AV Slowking. Ursaluna comes in here. I'm not too worried, though. Like I said, I'm Assault Vest Grass Knot as I do 52 back. This is Assault Vest Ursaluna. And I realized that right here because I was like, 52? Ursaluna has garbage Spadef. I have KO'd Ursalunas at 90% with like Choice Specs, Dragapult, Draco Meteor. So for Grass Knot, which is 120 base power, and coming from Slowking, which already has a great special attack stat, only doing 52, I knew this was Assault Vest immediately. I was like, oh, hell no, that's not real. So I see that, I'm like, yee. I go into Scizor here, expecting him to go for the Blood Moon, and that worked out good for me. I definitely had to get that play right. I was kind of worried. I was like, dude, if your Earth Power is annoying. But either way, I mean, I live Earth Power, so it wasn't that big of a gamble. I decided to go for a U-turn again, which worked out for me. I bluff him out with the possible Choice Bandit CC, and so that worked out really good. He doesn't want to sack his Ursaluna just yet. My Slowking gets all that HP back, which is nice. I think I clicked Sludge Bomb. Oh, Future Sight. That makes sense. Future Sight just to bring in my Tusk here as he goes for EQ just to get some consistent chip. I know Darkrai is coming in here, but I wanted to get up rocks regardless. Honestly, I don't know if this is the right play. Maybe it was better for me to just click Headlong Rush. But I got Rock Step anyways because I'm bad, so Enamorus comes in here as he just goes for a Pulse. I don't care if he goes for Ice Beam. I live anyways. Obviously, I live with like 1 HP, but it's fine. If I live, it's okay. Primarina comes in here now as I go for the Moonblast, and I believe I get a drop. Yeah, I get a drop, which is pretty lucky. And then I think I crit. Yeah, this was actually a very lucky I mean, the drop is whatever. 2 Moonblasts in a row is like 50-50 odds to drop, but the crit is a huge because he would have been able to get damage on me. So that was definitely very lucky by me. There's no doubt about it. In comes Regieleki. Now, I know because I just killed the Primarina and I pulled the lead that he's going to be inclined to make the aggressive play because he's fighting from behind now. So I know that the situation is not great for him, right? Rai is low, Ursa's low, rocks are up, and my team, I mean, he's done damage to my team, but Primarina being dead, everything is on the Dragonite now or the King Gambit. We know that. And I know his Regieleki is never clicking Electric Move into Ursaluna. That's like beyond devastating for him to lose every bit of momentum possible. So I know that that's not happening. I know he's probably just going to click Rapid Spin. So I stay in here and I do click Rapid Spin. I mean, he clicks Rapid Spin, I click Moonblast, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to kill this. And then that shit does 68. And I was like, bro, what? 68? I'm Enamorus. So at this point, I was like, is he dual screens Regieleki? I go on to find out later, because I damage calculated that this is Assault Vest. I knew immediately something was up, because 68% is way too little. I'm Enamorus. Regieleki is not known for being a bulky Pokemon. I was super confused when I saw that. But no, it made sense afterwards when I did the calcs, and I was like, he was Assault Vest. But at this point right here, I thought, okay, he's dual screens Regieleki. That's why he took so little. And now he's going to set up screens for one of his setup guys, Dragonite, or King Gambit. I was very certain. If I did the calc immediately, I would have known he was Assault Vest. Like, I'm pretty sure even if you max HP your Regieleki and put some defenses, you're not taking only 68 from Moonblast. Like, you have to be Assault Vest to get some type of mileage like that. I go into Great Tusk here as he does just go for a T-Bolt, so I'm chilling. He goes for Terra Blast Raw, and it does 37, which is so much. That's when I realized, oh, hell no, he is max special attack. I completely lost my mind. I was like, no, I'm stupid. I go into Palafin here knowing that he's either going to Terra Blast or Rapid Spin. So this was kind of weirdly played. Like, keeping the rocks up doesn't even do anything for me, so all I really did was take an extra 37 with my Great Tusk, but my dumbass really thought that it was dual screens. Like, after I saw 68, like, I couldn't even get it out of my head. I immediately was like, he's dual screens. There's no other way he would have taken that little, but it's all good. He clicks Terra Blast there. I just go for the Jet Punch, knock him out, because I have to recover from the situation I just put myself in, which is Great Tusk taking chip when there's a Gambit in the back and a D-Knight, and then also Palafin taking the slight chip is going to matter too. In comes Dragonite. Here I go for the Jet Punch, which might seem like a weird play, but I have to break the scale. We know he's going to DD here too. I cannot give him a free turn by sacking another Pokemon. Now I go into Ursaluna Blood Moon as he goes for the Roost. I wanted the Ursaluna Blood Moon because I was like, I can take 2 Earthquakes if that's what he wants to do. And if he wants to DD one more time, knowing that I'm locked into Jet Punch, my Ursaluna still lives a +2 attack and will OHKO him with the Blood Moon. That's why I broke the scale on this turn. Because if he DDs here, and then I go hard Ursa as he DDs again, he's not going to kill me. And then my Silk Scarf Blood Moon is for sure going to kill an 85% Dragonite. I'm not worried about that at all. So this was really just to force the free Ursa turn, so I'm pretty sure I made the right play clicking Jet Punch here. Because if I go hard into Ursa, on DD, there's a like I could end up not killing the Dragonite because he's going to be at multi-scale and +1/+1. I didn't want to give that free turn. So he shows Roost here, which is like, okay, whatever. I wasn't that worried. I was like, okay, potentially Terra Blast Fly or EQE speed. Either way, though, I should be able to check it with Palafin and Ursa combo. Here he Terras into a Fairy type and goes for the Terra Blast. He crits me, but judging from the damage, that was a 2-hit KO regardless, so I'm not tripping over that at all. I click Hyper Voice. Perhaps I should have clicked Blood Moon for the extra damage. Hyper Voice still does a shit ton. 33% is amazing, so I'm not too mad about that. I bring in my Scizor here. This is where I realized that I'm fucking Swarm and not Technician, because look how much BP does. It did 21, and that's when I was like, what? Is this like the most physically defensive Darkrai ever invented? I was so shocked. No, bud, I'm Swarm. Always check your teams, buddy. Anyway, I go Enamorous here, knowing he's not going to click Ice Beam. And that worked out for me, as I'm just going to click Moonblast and knock him out. I still have Healing Wish on this, too. So, at a later time, I could go for it. Ursa comes in here. I go for Moonblast. I mean, I know he's Assault Vest from earlier, but I'm going to be honest with you, gang. I thought I was going to kill, but he lived. Which is fine. Like, whatever. I'm going to Tusk. Click Rapid Spin. Goes for Vacuum Wave, which does a good amount. Oh, I click Ice Spinner just in case. I don't know, he goes into D-Knight, and I want like the slightly marginally stronger attack. Here I switch out for zero reason, and I go into Palafin. I mean, I know he's going to Sucker Punch, but it still made no sense to do that. I think I did this simply like a conditioning play. Like, keeping the extra sack might make him think, oh, let me not click Sucker again, as I Terra and I go for Flip Turn. But to be honest with you, I'm fairly certain I lived Sucker Punch because Palafin's defenses are ridiculous. But after this turn right here, the game is pretty much bagged up because my Palafin is free to Terra. I'm not going to... I mean, I could click Wave Crash here, but then it's like, I'm forcing the 50-50. Flip Turn is the win. I don't want to take recoil. If he Sucker Punches and I Wave Crash, I can lose to this Dragonite still. You know, even though Slowking is able to hit this with Sludge Bomb and stuff like that, there could be a universe where I lose. But, I mean, honestly, though, I think I had it bagged up. Scizor gets sacked, and then Jet Punch, and that's going to be that. So, really down to the wire series, I'm not going to lie. I definitely got a little lucky in this with the Moonblast, what's it called? Special attack drop into crit on Primarina. It certainly would have been a different game if my Enamorous was forced to switch out, but it was because I got the special attack drop on the first turn that I was able to stay in rather than going into Slowking, and then I crit anyway, so he didn't even get like the Surf Chip, which I think that definitely did end up mattering for sure. Palafin put in work though. Killing the Dragonite at 67 was crazy, and then the Terra Water Flip Turn doing 60 to Gambit was just nuts. But yes, I'm able to win the first round, and then I moved on to the semifinals, which I will be showing now. So big shots to my boy foolycl, GG's to him. He played hard. He had a cool team. The double Assault Vest Ursaluna x Regieleki combo was dope. I'm happy my Volt Turn worked out. If my Scizor was Technician, I would have been more fine, but I mean, it definitely didn't make that much of a difference. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with this team. I was like, this is cool. Like, Volt Turn definitely has some type of merit when you can put cheap shit like Palafin and bring in your Ursaluna for free. Anyways, let's get into my semifinals match now. Alright, so looking at my team, I have decided to bring Veil again. I'm actually doing a best of one for the semifinals. My opponent is Nat. Big shots to them. One of my good friends also has just started uploading Pokemon videos, making some great high-level content, so I'll also link their channel in the description. I highly recommend you check them out. But we agreed to do a best of one, just because I didn't want to make too many teams, and Nat told me they were fine with either BO3 or BO1, so I said let's just do BO1. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to bring. We were supposed to battle like a while ago. Like the first games, the games versus foolycl, they happened like 2 weeks ago, and then this game just happened yesterday. So I was kind of holding off on the tour just because I had a bunch of family stuff and I was out of town and stuff like that, and then I just kept on like saying let's play later, and then yesterday Nat was like, yo, you want to play? And I was like, yeah, give me 5 minutes, let me just cook up a team. And so I was looking through my teams. Originally I took my team from last round, the Enamorous one, and I was going to make Enamorous a Scarf Valiant with Trick, just to have a different Scarfer, and because I thought Trick would help me a lot versus opposing setup Pokemon. But I decided to just go with the Veil instead. Now, as you can see, we're both rocking Lugia, which was not seen in any of the first 3 games in the first round that I was in. The reason that we got Lugia is because we found out that this Pokemon is more or less broken after seeing one of the other round 1 series that went on. And I'll show you that game right here. I'll just skip right to it. This was between Helom and 3D. Shouts to them. So this is their round 1 matchup. And I remember after I saw this Lugia setting up, turning Terra Fairy, taking 12% from Earth Power, 14% make it rain. Ironhead actually crit here, otherwise 3D was cooked. But yeah, after I saw this, Lugia just setting up, Calm Mind, unable to be killed or even checked whatsoever, I was like, I need to bring Lugia. Like, this is for sure broken. I know we always meme and talk about how, oh, like, Lugia should come back to OU. It's not even good in Ubers. I'm telling you right now, Lugia is beyond broken. Like, it's beyond overpowered. And I knew that before this tournament because me and 3D had an argument back in, like, December or January where I was like, Lugia sucks, and he's like, you're actually stupid, like Lugia's broken. And I was like, dude, it's not that good. And then we played a game and he brought Lugia stall versus me, and it was unbeatable. Lugia with a phasing move was absolutely unbeatable. And we played a couple games, and then I made a Lugia offense and used it versus him. And after those 2 or 3 games, we both agreed this Pokemon is so broken and has no business in OU. So I'm telling you guys right now, whenever that propaganda comes up again about how Lugia is bad, bro, no. Lugia is absurdly the idea of Lugia ever dropping to OU is so removed. Just don't even consider. Like, it'll never happen. It doesn't matter we go to Gen 10 or Gen 11. This thing is beyond cracked. It'll never be OU. It doesn't matter what changes, all right? I just need to get that out there because I know I have even memed in the past saying Lugia sucks. Like, why don't we put this guy in OU? No, it's not happening. All right, anyways, I decided to revamp my Veil, which really just meant changing Regieleki because that shit was ass when I used it. And then I put Zamazenta on here. My Zamazenta is the worst set of all time. Close Combat, Ice Fang, Crunch, Roar, Life Orb. Life Orb Roar is definitely something insane to put on your team, especially when you have no hazards of your own. But I was thinking, oh man, what if I run into like some scary setup guy and I gotta roar it out? But I really wish I had a Heavy Slam because there's a Clefable here. Excalibur is the regular set I had before. So Manaphy, Gliscor also the same. Lugia is calm. I actually took the Lugia set directly from what Helm was using, which was Terra Fairy, Calm Mind, Aeroblast, Recover, and then last move Psychic Noise. Max Special Attack, Max Speed, Modest with Covert Cloak. Lugia, even with Modest, still hits 319 speed if you max it out. Lugia's Special Attack is terrible. You hit 306 with Modest, but it's enough because you're boosting up regardless. I immediately knew that the Clef was going to be unaware because otherwise this team gets 6-0 by every setup Pokemon ever. And I knew that there was a chance that the Lugia could just be Whirlwind if, you know, Ting Lu is throwing up hazard regardless. This could just be a phasing team. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, ew. But yeah, the Clef, it was beyond obvious the Clef is going to be unaware. Otherwise, this team can get packed up by literally any of my setup guys pretty easily. Ting Lu is not the end of the world. I mean, I wasn't too worried about that. I was really worried about this Clef, though, because I don't have anything that can hit Clef hard. And I don't want to get knocked off. I don't want to get T-Wave. I don't want any of that stuff. I knew that there was a good chance the Clef was Stealth Rock, but also unaware Clef. I mean, you can run Calm Mind unaware. You can do a lot with Clef when you're unaware. So that's what I was thinking about. Now, lead matchup-wise, I was like, there's 2 potential leads, Clef or Ting Lu, into my Ninetales. Because if you lead Ting Lu, you instantly get up Rocks, and that hits 3 of my guys off the rip. My Lugia is now Boots. It's Cloak. So that's basically what I went with. So I laid off with my Za. Clefable leads. I don't have a switch into Moonblast, and I don't even have a Pokemon that can hit this hard. So here I make kind of like the most insane play ever, and I click Crunch, hoping that Nat expects Heavy Slam and goes into Gold on some crazy shit. I didn't, like, this play is obviously bad, but I really didn't have a switch, and I really didn't want to go Ninetales on a knockoff or a status move and lose my what's it called? My Light Clay, if knockoff was clicked. Regardless, Rocks just go up, which is free. I Crunch again, hoping that, okay, maybe turn 1, Nat will predict that, oh, went for Crunch doing the try-hard play. Now we'll definitely go for Heavy Slam. But again, I don't even have a move for this. Like this, I have no Fairy Resist. I have nothing that can actually hurt this Pokemon. Either way, though, I keep it low. Like, it's at 73. Keldeo comes in here on another Crunch, because again, I don't have a better move. I was like, let me just chip. Crunch, this is a good pivot, because at that point, probably thinking, oh, like, this really could be Heavy Slam. This try-hard Crunch 2x, like, let me just go into Keldeo because I can cover the Crunch versus the Heavy Slam. But honestly, like, the first 3 turns is bad because Rocks go up and I don't get any kills, but Chip is Chip, so I wasn't that like tilted at the lead. Like, obviously I didn't get much going and my Za is gone, but I knew that it was fine. I'm literally just getting data on the team. Keldeo comes in here. I go right into Ninetales because I know Vacuum Wave's coming, and I'm not losing my Zamazenta sack for no reason. Vacuum Wave does a good amount of damage because my Ninetales, like I told y'all before, is max speed, max special attack. I don't run max HP. I'm Blizzard, Moonblast, Aurora Veil, Encore. So watch this. Ting Lu comes in here to instantly put up the hazards as I go for the Aurora Veil. And now you can see my max special attack at work because I do 38 with Blizzard, which is a lot of damage, honestly. Spikes goes up. Again, my team has nothing for hazards because I got rid of Regieleki, so Nat knows that Hazard's going up is going to help out there. Manaphy gets whirlwinded in, which sucks for me because it's not going to be able to kill Ting-Lu and it's going to get whirlwinded out again. But either way, at least I'm able to chip this down. And yeah, Excalibur comes in here, takes more damage. So the whole team is kind of like low at this point. Manaphy's going to come in at 57%. Ninetales is going to come in at what, like 15%. Next time Bax comes in, it's going to be at 25%. Za's dead. So I was looking at the match and I already like basically downloaded the fact that Lugia or Gliscor is going to be my way of going and winning this game. I click Scale Shot here. I click Scale Shot simply to stop Keldeo from coming in afterwards. But to be honest with you, even if I kill this with Spear, Keldeo still can't come in because my Veil is up. It's not going to die. Excalibur's not going to die to the fighting move at 63%. Golden Go comes in here. I know this is probably going to be some Fizz Def shit, especially because we see Balloon. I click Icicle Spear because I just need damage. Also, my Gliscor is Double Dance, Earthquake, Facade. So I have to break this thing's Balloon. I also know Gliscor does have a chance to win this game, even if it's Unaware Clef, because Terra Normal Facade is so strong and can go through even Unaware Clef. Like, it's a very strong attack. Icicle Spear here as Nat elects to go for the T-Wave and misses, which is pretty lucky. I go for Earthquake here, knowing that, okay, judging by the Icicle Spear damage, this is for sure max Fizz Def. And then EQ only doing 52 with another tell that this is beyond defensive. But because I Scale Shotted earlier, I am able to EQ the next turn and knock that thing out. So that was pretty nice for me. Definitely a lucky dodge there. And yeah, I'm able to knock that thing out. Keldeo comes in here as I switch out and bring in my Za. As Nat actually goes for the Vacuum Wave. This actually hella confused me because I was like, does this not have Secret Sword? I was actually really shocked here. I was like really confused what happened. I don't know what this Keldeo set is, but Vacuum Wave was for sure not going to kill me. So, I don't know. That turn really confused me. I guess the Keldeo legit wasn't a fighting move because Vacuum Wave would have bounced off. Like, I don't know. This should make no sense to me. I bring in Lugia here and I start going for it because I was like, all right, we need to start putting up pressure. As Lugia comes in itself, I just went for the Aeroblast in case Terra Water Surf or some random shit was clicked. I didn't want to start Calm Minding and get taunted or whatever the case could have been. Like, Keldeo could do something. But we start Calm Mind Warring here. Let's get right into it. Let's go, Lugia. Let's cook. Also, I don't know if you noticed something. When I brought in my Lugia, I don't know if y'all saw that ability, that proc. Take a look. Take a look, take a look. This was just like the Scizor situation, where I made my team in 5 minutes and forgot to check abilities. So I didn't make Lugia multi-skill, I made it pressure. But you're gonna see pressure actually is giga clutch. So Lugia comes in on my Aeroblast, we Calm Mind, and here Nat reveals the most troll shit, Dragon Tail, and here I was like, bruh. So now it's basically confirmed to me that the way of going about this is my last Mon Lugia. Air Slash gets clicked, knocks me out. Air Slash is a good move because it has high PP versus Aeroblast and Psychic Noise, which really don't have enough. I get up the Veil here, but Lugia's +2, so it's going to start going for it. I bring in Gliscor here. I just go for SD? Yep, go for SD, Dragon Tail. Oh, Calm Mind again. Calm Mind again is super free, so that makes sense for sure. I go for Facade. I get 20% off with a crit, and I get Dragon Tailed out. In comes my Manaphy. Like I said, at this point, I'm going for the last Mon Lugia. I know that Gliscor and Manaphy are not going to be able to get past this. Get the burn with Scald, which is nice. Get Dragon Tailed out again. In comes Gliscor. SD again, hoping that, you know, whatever gets clicked. But Nat is just stalling out my screens and getting the residuals with hazards. Air Slash gets clicked there. It does a decent amount, honestly. I guess it is +3 after all. Scald here for 20%, which is nice. I just Tail Glow because I got to do more damage. If I click Scald, it's going to do 5% anyway. So might as well Tail Glow and hope that, you know, we're able to get the boosted attack versus just Scalding for 5% like this setup control. So, you know, we've taken some moves from it. Air Slashes are down to 20. Recovers, we've knocked out 2. Like, it wasn't the end of the world. Like I said, we're putting it all on Lugia at the end anyways. Air Slash does 55 here because my Gliscor is Giga Spidef. So even though this is +3 and Veil is gone, my Gliscor still has the Spidef to tank this. This is a weird-ass Lugia. I don't know why my Gliscor is faster and then also tanked. Because Lugia's base 110 speed, and this is base 95, and I don't have that much speed investment. I don't know. Either way, I click Agility here just to sack it. Worst case scenario is I click Facade here and crit and kill it, and then I lose to whoever's in the back. So I was like, let me just EQ so I can get the freest of free switches. And so now we bring in Lugia, and basically, you already know, start going for it. Start Calm Minding. Air Slash gets clicked. Now this is where pressure actually ends up helping so much. Because I have pressure, these Air Slashes are going really quick. There's only 16 Air Slashes, actually 8 because of pressure. So my wrong ability ended up owning this Lugia as a result. And I realized that after, it didn't even took me a second to realize it, because here I was just kind of playing like a bot. I was just going to Calm Mind and recover and like, okay, let's see what happens. But I realized afterwards, I was like, oh my god, I'm pressure, because air slash is doing like way too much. And then I scrolled over and I'm like, where did all the air slashes go? And then I was like, oh my god, I used pressure. But yeah, so I Calm Mind up to +6 because, I mean, I'm going for +6. I know this is unaware also, so in the back of my head, I was thinking that I kind of misplayed, and that if Clef is Terra Dark or something like that, I'm gonna lose anyways. So I just went for my +6, recover up here, air slash gets clicked. I think I click Aeroblast finally. Does a shit ton, 40%, because I'm +6 versus +3, so obviously it's gonna do a lot. I keep clicking Aeroblast just to stall out the recovers. Clicking recover is a good play because Nat's able to, you know, take out my own Aeroblast. Aeroblast doesn't have a lot of PP. And here I was like, I do need to keep a couple of Aeroblasts, otherwise I'm going to lose to the Clefable if it is Terra Dark, which is what I'm assuming it is. Just because I've seen unaware Terra Dark Clefable before, and so I was just scared that that was going to show itself. Air slash gets clicked again. I start clicking Psynoise because, like I said, I want to keep these Aeroblasts, and I know Lugia is not going anywhere at this point. It's just going to get sacked. Calm Mind gets clicked. I recover one more time just to put it in range of Psynoise and then knock it out. And then Nat goes into Clefable here. Doesn't click Terra. Perhaps it was Terra Water or something like that. I clicked Aeroblast, fully expecting a Terra Dark here, and for me to just lose. And I was hoping that even if it is Terra Dark and it does click Terra Dark, that Nat would make some greedy play and go for Knockoff or Moonblast or some shit like that, expecting Psynoise. I don't know. At this point, though, I was pretty scared because I was like, Terra hasn't even been exhausted. This probably just has a Terra that beats me. But no Terra is clicked, just Knockoff is clicked. I killed this with Psynoise, and at that point, Lugia is ready to win, and Nat forfeits. So I'm going to assume the Clef was Terra Water, Terra Dragon, Terra whatever. It obviously wasn't Steel or Dark. I think I misplayed here, though, because my Lugia is actually Terra Fairy. So instead of sacking my whole team, I should have just, like, hold on, like, okay, right here, bro, I should have just turned Fairy type. Instead, I sacked everybody first. I mean, it wasn't, like, a super awful play or something. I mean, obviously, I lost all my Pokemon, so it was kind of dumb, but in my mind, I was like, if this is Calm Mind Whirlwind, or whatever the case is, actually, wait, I already saw Dragon Tail at that point. Yeah, I'm not going to hold you. Going Gliscor and Manaphy was dumb. I should have just Terra Fairy, because I didn't even end up terraing this game. So I think actually, hold on. Okay, after I get up Veil here, I should have just gone right into my Lugia and started going for it. But for some reason, I was like, let me just last Mon so I can, like, confirm it more. It kind of makes sense, because if I am to go Lugia and Terra immediately, then maybe Nat instantly switches and tries to check me. But we've already seen that, I mean, there was no counter to Lugia after Gold and Tinglu went down, so yeah. Definitely got a little bit lucky with the T-Wave dodge, but after the game, Nat said that they definitely should have kept Gold and Go alive so that they could have T-Waved Lugia, but told me that they were afraid that I would be Terra Ground Earth Power, which is definitely a fair, like, assumption to have. Lugia Earth Power, Psychic Noise is great coverage. Psychic Noise, I mean, Earth Power Aeroblast as well if you want it. But I took the set directly from Helom's game. After I saw him put in that work with Aeroblast Recover, this is when I realized you don't even need Earth Power, because look at the damage. Sorry for the music, my bad. But look at the damage here, bro. It did 82%. That's when I was like, you don't even need Earth Power. Like, you know, just go Fairy. And he would have won this game if he didn't get a crit too. So after I saw that, I was like, dude, I'm just bringing Lugia. So I was able to pull it out there. I think Gold or Tinglu should have been kept just to keep Lugia at bay more. And then this could have definitely been won if either of those were kept. But my Lugia being the fast, calm mindset definitely helped me versus this one in the end. And pressure also helped. So I find myself in the finals where I will be playing 3D, who beat his round 1 and semifinals opponents. We will be playing a best of 3. I'll post that at a later time. But back in the finals, man. I'm always making it to the finals, man. I'm Mr. Second place, man. No, I'm winning this one, though. I'm winning this. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking up the greatest BO3 teams possible. Anyways, after this battle, Lax decided to ban Lugia from the finals, which we agree with. We all came to a decision that Lugia is disgustingly broken no matter which way you cut it, and there's zero reason not to use it. So there's definitely some Pokemon still, though, on this list that I can use that I haven't yet. I wonder if Zama Steel has some type of merit. Everybody memes that Pokemon is trash. I also need to try out Iron Bundle, which I know for a fact is good. I'm too lazy to try it out. But Lugia's banned, so we're not going to be seeing that in the finals. But yeah, that's going to be that. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of my tournament content. pretty fun to play like this sandbox meta. I think this is really cool and creative stuff. And dude, I get bored playing OU. Like I recently played Smogon World Cup semifinals, Gen 9 OU, and I won. I was pretty happy about that too. But like the Gen 9 OU meta is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like after the game was done, the tournament, like usually like, oh, I win a tournament game, I'm like, yes, I'm shiced. But after it, I was like, man, OU's so boring, bruh. Bringing my same old Zamazenta, Tinglu, Dragonite, but that was my first OU game in like more than a year for tournament, so I was happy I won that. Matter of fact, let me pull that shit up. Alright, real quick bonus battle, because I figure if I'm already showing 4 of my tournament battles, I might just show the most recent one. Playing for the US East versus Suzuya, who's playing for Team Africa. This is the playoffs of the World Cup. I think I said semifinals. Cap, this is the quarterfinals. I didn't play in the regular pool stage. I was too busy, and I told my team that I'm not going to have time to play, but my team did great. We made it to playoffs pretty easily, and I was like, you know what? Put me in, coach. It's time for you to unlock the beast if we're going to playoffs. Lock in. You got to put the GOAT in. That's me, by the way. So I'm using CTC's team from a year and a half ago. It's one of my favorite teams. The story behind this team is crazy. I laddered all week with this team to bring it versus my opponent in official Smogon tournament top 16. And my opponent stole this team from me while I was laddering and brought it versus me and got fucking 6-0'd because it's my team and I knew all the sets. And I was so mad the whole time because I couldn't wait to show this team off. And then Blood stole it off me laddering because he probably queued into me and got spanked. But whatever, I've already talked about that before, whatever. This is CTC's team though. It's extremely old. It's been used so many times in so many different tournaments. You can basically make the 6 sets whatever you want. I always make sure the Dragonite is Dragon Tail, Roost, 3 attack, E-Speed, EQ. Zamazenta can be IDEF or 4 attack boots. Personally though, I like 4 attack boots with Ice Fang. Just helps out. Gliscor is a big threat to these types of structures. Clefable and Tinglu. This is an amazing core. I've always loved the Tinglu Clef core. They check, you know, together they check basically everything. Because, you know, fighting types can't beat Clef. You can even beat Raging Bolt with this technically if you go Tinglu on the electric move every time and, you know, Clef on the dragon move. But yeah, this core is tried and true. I've always liked Clef in Gen 9 OU. Just Stealth Rock, Moonblast, and then knock off for T-Wave. I think the Fizz Def set is nice. It trolls a lot. Golden Goal on this team is Nasty Plot, physically defensive. Keep the hazards up so you can tank Headlong Rush from Great Tusk. And just in general, you know, check whatever. Usually it's T-Wave on this team, but I decided to go with Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Make It Rain because, I don't know, I just wanted a stronger move into opposing gold if I do end up losing my Tinglu. And then Deoxys is 4 attack boots. Usually it's Nasty Plot on the version CTC runs, but I decided to go 4 attack knockoff boots in case I played a fatter team. Like those Gliscor structures really get cooked by knockoff Ice Beam, Deoxys more than Nasty Plot cooks those teams. And this guy had used like some Alomomola, Petarant, low kick shit, and I figured that this would be far superior than running Nasty Plot if I had knockoff 4 attack, because I can really bully the Alomomola once hazards go up. But my opponent Suzuya, he was 3-0 going into this battle, so I knew he was probably a threat. I know CTC played this guy before in tournament and beat him. CTC actually brought the exact same team when he played this guy and beat him, and so I knew bringing the same team versus a guy who already lost to it was kind of like insane. But I don't think you should look into things like that too much. If you're confident in a team, mindset is everything. Like mindset is beyond everything. If you have an amazing team but your mindset's not there, you're not going to win. And I would say the inverse is also true, where you can have a bad team, but if you're confident in yourself and your plays and your ability with the team, you'll be more than free to win. I mean, bro, I won with a Glalie back in the day, Sharpedo back in the day, all that shit, because I really believed in the shit, and I felt good using the team, versus if I used like a quote-unquote objectively more metagame team, but I wasn't feeling comfy with it, then I might not play well. But this team is some shit I've been using for more than a year. Like this is one of CTC's flagship joints, so I was like, I gotta use this. I just feel comfy. My first game back in a year, in OU tournaments. So I was like, I'm just bringing the most standard shit ever. All right, leads off with Rise. I lead off with Clef. That worked out well for me. I led Clef expecting Rai or Landorus lead, and if Landorus leads, I just spam Moonblast. If Darkrai leads, I just spam Moonblast. Regardless, I'm spamming that Moonblast. That was a fact. Looked at his team and I was like, rocks are never going up. He has 3 Stealth Rock resists, and his team is so strong where it might be tough for my Clef to ever get the free turn. Either way, this lead works out great for me. I don't want to Moonblast. I mean, I don't want to Rocks turn 1 as he fucking Nasty Plots and then Okos me with Sludge Bomb, because that could be horrible. And 5 minutes before this battle, I ended up making my Zamazenta Jolly. I originally had Adamant, and then one of my friends was like, one of my teammates was like, yo, if you run into a Darkrai with Adamant Zama, you might get completely cooked. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. If I'm Adamant Zama, then +2 Darkrai could Terra Poison and just kill everything. I was like, okay, let me think about that. So I thought about it for a second, and I was like, let's just go with Jolly. Even though you do lose some power, Jolly was definitely needed. And I ran into a Darkrai, so I'm really happy I had that. I go for Moonblast turn 1 just to get the chip. I know if Sludge Bomb gets clicked, it's going to 2-hit KO me. I know Moonblast also doesn't OHKO Darkrai, but chip is chip. Like, I want that shit to be an E-speed range. I want that shit to be an EQ range, all that shit. Moonblast is 36 to King Gambit. I didn't even have to calc this to know that this is 0's HP. There's no way Moonblast should be doing that much to King Gambit. So I immediately knew this is max attack, max speed. He goes for Iron Head on the switch, and it does 24. I think I calced it, and it's Jolly. I don't remember. This game was like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago. It was like a week and a half ago. But I think it was Jolly. I don't even know if I was calculating, to be honest. Here, I clicked the fastest Ice Fang of all time because this is like the most guaranteed free play in Pokemon history when your Zama's in front of Gambit and they have a Lando in the back. I thought about crunching in case Gold came in, but if he goes into Gold, who cares? I just go into Tinglu and I start throwing him up. If I crunch into Landorus T, that's devastating. I'm not trying to take extra damage and then also not kill with the next Ice Fang and lose my Za. I get a crit, which is huge. That is a huge crit. Ice Fang probably does 55, maybe 60. But crit completely takes all of this out of his hands. No rocks, no nothing, no. Like, he could have even gone into Golden Go after this because he got the Intimidate. So that was extremely lucky. There's no two ways about that. Ice Fang crit him. Raging Bolt comes in. I go into Tinglu because I'm at full HP as he goes for a Draco Meteor and he misses. So I got to keep it 100. Those are two of the luckiest turns. The crit was gigantic. Like that was a game-changing crit. Like, I'm definitely lucky for that. But I get hacked every game I play in tournament, and my last few games I got brutally hacked. So when this happened, I'm not even gonna hold you. I looked at my computer screen and I burst out laughing and said, "Fuck yeah!" Like, I'm telling you right now, that was my reaction when this happened. I said, "Fuck yeah!" and I fist pumped and I kept going. So Nasty Plot gets clicked here as I go for a Ruination. I Ruinated in case it clicked Wisp, even though EQ does 2-hit KO this because my Tinglu's adamant nature. I didn't want to risk the what's it called, Will-O-Wisp, and then I EQ for 25, and it's like, you know, what's the point? Here I switch out. I know Ice Beam is getting clicked, but I want my Tinglu healthy for the Golden Go. And I was thinking Deoxys speed might not really be needed. It can't OHKO Raging Bolt. Val's faster. Gold walls it. Gambit dies to Superpower but can kill me with Sucker Punch. So I really assessed the situation, and I was like, dude, I don't think I need this Deoxys speed. There's the off chance he clicks Focus Blast on the switch, and my Deoxys takes like 60 and lives, and that's like the greatest situation ever, but I was pretty certain he was just going to Ice Beam, and I go into Deoxys, and I just sack it. Which, again, is fine. I want to keep the Tinglu for the gold, and my Tinglu is Max Attack, Adamant, Custat Berry, which I stole from ZabGB. Shouts to him. I saw him using that. When he was using this team, that's the set he used, and I was like, oh, that's a cold set. Custap is something I don't use much at all in general. Like, I don't like having to position my Pokemon that way, but Custap is one of those surprise techs in tournament which always goes hard. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Rather than running the very basic Tinglu with Boots, or right before this game I was gonna run Boots, and I'm so happy I didn't run Boots because I mean I crit his Stealth Rocker, so them shits was never going up anyway. Boots Tinglu is only good when you play opposing spikes. Otherwise it's like a dead item. So I'm really happy I kept it Custap. Or changed it to Custap rather. Bolt comes in here, reveals to be Boots, as CC does 50%, which is like, shish, that is some damage, right? I switch out here and I bring back in Tinglu, as Draco does connect this time. I didn't know if this was a roll or not, and I certainly wasn't going to risk it and lose my biggest threat and then get swept by King Gambit and Darkrai, so I had to switch. Draco does a fucking shit ton there, 38%, and I still have investment. Like, yes, I'm adamant Tinglu, but I still have a good amount of investment, but it just goes to show how strong Raging Bolt is, and he's more than likely modest if he's doing 38%, but I go for EQ here and I knock that out. Kills at 51 because like I told you, I'm adamant. King Gambit comes in here. I know he's Jolly, so I know I live low kick, and so I stayed in immediately and just knocked his ass out. So, I mean, even if it was adamant, judging by that damage, I would have lived. So now my Custap is there too. I Ruinate here because, I mean, I might as well get my free chip. And that's that. So this Tinglu got off the Goob Nut. I'm not going to hold you, gang. 2 Mons dead. Spike up. Gold at 50 and Balloon Pop. Like, Dragonite comes in here to click EQ. I get full paired from T-Wave, which was tough. But I wasn't too tilted because I had just hacked him earlier anyway with that Ice Fang crit into dodge. EQ doesn't kill, which completely blew my mind. I'm max attack Dragonite adamant, bro. So to see this only take 50, I was like, what the fuck? I was super shocked. I'm not gonna hold you. I really thought it was gonna kill. I mean, I know physically defensive gold is amazing. I'm running it myself, but I really thought Dragonite EQ would kill. Like 50 flat was nuts, seeing as I'm 403 attack. I get parried again. He keeps spamming Hex as I EQ and knock him out. And here I was like, okay, final threat's about to come in, Valiant. Let's find out what happens. So here, the only way for me to lose is for me to E-speed into Iron Val as he turns ghost or whatever, and he gets like +6. I know all I have to do is click EQ. I have a gold at full HP with Theyre Fairy, so even if he's Calm Mind, Theyre Ghost, as long as I get these EQs off, I'm not going to lose this game. So Calm Mind gets clicked, as I believe I just go for EQ. I get full paired, which is tough. Calm Minds again, because he knows he needs the boosts to kill my gold and to kill my Clefable. He clicks Theyre Ghost sub here, hoping that I decide to go for an E-speed, but like, bro, I've played like 1 trillion ladder games. We all know what Val does when it Calm Minds. Sub was funny though, we haven't seen that before, so that was nuts. I get full paired again though. I remember I was like, bruh, I know I crit your landers, but what's up with a T-Wave? So I get knocked out here by Moonblast, and here I was like, damn, I think I lost. Like, I was looking at this, I was like, fuck, I think I lose, bro. He Moonblasts here. I break his sub with Moonblast myself as he Moonblast. Now, this is a misplay by him. If he Calm Minds again, I think he wins the game. More likely than not, because Clef would have not broken the sub. And then that would have been that. So, if he Calm Minded again, he won. Moonblast doesn't break the sub. He kills me, and then my last 2 die. No matter what. So, I bring in my Golden Go here. I Theyre Fairy because there's no other play. He Moonblasts predicting the Theyre, but I have max HP and I have 72 SpDef EVs. Shouts to my boy SRN. He told me right before the battle, as my teammate, he was like, you should put some SpDef on gold just in case you play like a Primarina or something. And I was like, yeah, that seems like a decent idea. I don't think the SpDef boost, the 72 EVs changed this killing or not. I mean, I live with 23. It's not like I live with 1%, but regardless, the SpDef helped. So I was happy about that. Drops my special attack. Here, I go for Shadow Ball. I don't know, maybe Recover was better, but I thought because my special attack was dropped that Thunderbolt's free for them. So I was like, let me just click Shadow Ball and kind of get a little bit more damage. And here I was like, well, I hope that 50% wasn't a max roll, and I CC and I kill it, and that's going to be that. So not my most perfectly played game. I definitely got lucky in those paras. I will say this, these paras were obviously bullshit, and it should have been an easier win for Dragonite, but I didn't need to have this situation happen, which that's what I want to drill home when I bring up this battle. That even if I got full paired all these times and it got into a lucky situation, this could have been avoided entirely, and I'll show you how. So right here, I could have probably kept my Ting Lu if I really wanted to. I could have maybe gone gold here instead, but I was afraid of the Iron Val. But I'm max attack adamant. I'm not max attack, but I'm adamant, and I have heavy slam, which would have killed Val most likely at 88%. So I probably should have kept this. It's also good insurance for the Bolt. But let's say I didn't. Let's say I stand by the Ruination play, which is honestly not a horrible play. After this, going Dragonite is wrong. What I should have done here is gone into my Golden Go, because even if he has Shadow Ball, and he's faster than me, he's not doing more than 50-60%. I'm going to kill him back because he's -1. I'm not dying at all, like I said. And then what does he do? He goes into Raging Bolt. That's fine. I bring in the Clef. I Moonblast back. He goes into the Iron Val. That's fine. You can't Thunder Wave my gold. You have to just kill me. So this would have stopped me from taking a Thunder Wave with Dragonite if I had just gone gold after this. And so, yeah, if I lost this game to the paralysis, I obviously would have been tight and been like, damn, I got full paired. But I will tell you right now, it would have been an avoidable loss. And I would have, I blame myself, because I remember during the game when the pairs were happening, I was like, fuck, I'm so stupid. Why did I go Dragonite and put myself in a position to get hacks? This is where tilt and control of the battle matters so much. I thought I was so up, and I thought it didn't matter. I completely forgot about, you know, Hex T-Wave and the fact that this could even live Earthquake. So this is objectively wrong. After this Ting Lu gets the Ruination off, I should have gone Golden Go and I should have clicked Shadow Ball. That is objectively the correct play, and it would have stopped me from being in this situation where I got full paired like 4 times. But I mean, yeah, I pull away with it. I'm not gonna lie, this game was whack. Like, he should have Calm Minded and just sweat me, but I'm just gonna assume that's God doing me a favor in more ways than just like a misplay. I don't know. Either way, I got lucky. Like that he didn't Calm Mind again. Crazy game, but I am able to win, which is nice. This is my first OU game in a while. I lost a bunch last year and got hacked and shit too, so it felt good to get lucky. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I feel bad about getting lucky, because I mean, yeah, it sucks for my opponent, but I'm trying to win. So that's a little OU game sprinkled at the end. I have to play for semifinals sometime this weekend versus my boy M Forbes, so I'll probably have an upload of that for you guys at some point, and I'll have the finals versus 3D going on later this week. This was a very long video, but tournament content is always shy, so I hope y'all enjoyed. Drop a like, you know, let me know in the comments below what you want to see, etc., etc. We'll see y'all soon.